Now let's take a look at how we terminate the N-type connector to conformable semi-rigid cable that's been cut and stripped. The first step is to set the contact pin in the correct sized cavity in this template block. Next, insert solder wire into the opening of the pin and cut the wire flush with the end of the pin. Place the ends of a thermal tweezers on the side of the pin and apply heat until solder melt is observed through the inspection window. Then, insert the pre-tenned center conductor into the pin. Once the center conductor is fully seated in the pin, remove the thermal tweezers. The fillet in the inspection window should be slightly concave and show good wetting. And here's what happens when too much solder is used. The next step is to slide the N-type connector over the pin and onto the cable. Make sure that the pin is far enough into the connector. Then, place the connector into the correct sized cavity of the template block. Now, place a heated soldering iron tip on the junction of the conformable cable and the rear of the connector and feed in some solder wire. Carefully spin the connector so that the solder goes into the area around the connector. This process can take some time until sufficient solder is properly wetted to this junction. Once you're satisfied with the connector to cable solder joint, clean the connection. This solder joint is just about perfect. Here's an example of insufficient solder, and here is an example of excessive solder. Finally, it's a defect condition when the solder is less than 360 degrees. Meaning that there are voids along the connection. The last steps are to visually inspect the connection and test the termination for electrical continuity.